San Diego got a good soaking this past weekend, but was it enough to make a dent in the region's drought conditions? We get an update from the Drought Tracker. The city of San Diego would like to prevent Christmas trees from ending up in the landfill. How can you help? That's coming up. And the marching bands from Minnesota and Washington State battle it out ahead of tomorrow's Holiday Bowl. This is Evening Edition on KPBS. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Maya Trabulsi. After a week that brought rain and snow to San Diego County, KPBS science reporter David Wagner has a statewide update from the KPBS Drought Tracker.
We're now close to halfway through California's wet season, and so far, statewide rainfall is running a bit ahead of schedule. As of Monday morning, the state has received 58% of what normally falls between October 1st and April 1st. But warm temperatures have kept the Sierra snowpack from keeping pace. On average, it's at only 24% of the normal April 1st measurement. Scripps Institution of Oceanography climate researcher Dan Cahan helped compile this data.
The winter's not over yet, and it doesn't mean that we won't get some storms that are relatively cool and large snow generators. So we'll see.
To see numbers from today's Drought Tracker update and compare them to previous years in the drought, go to kpbs.org/drought tracker. David Wagner, KPBS News.
A team of researchers is looking for Californians who were sterilized, often against their will, because the state had deemed them unfit or mentally ill. KPBS reporter Claire Tregesser spoke with the head of the research team and has details.
California's eugenics laws were meant to control the reproduction of those who were considered mentally unfit, mentally ill, or, quote, feeble-minded. They led to the sterilization of about 20,000 people, more than any other state. The practice ended in 1979. Now, Alexandra Stern, a professor at the University of Michigan, is hoping to locate the more than 800 survivors she believes are still alive. She hopes that creating a record will convince California to take responsibility for what happened.
It makes sense that the state should take this opportunity of having an estimate of likely living survivors to think about the possibility of reparations.
Stern adds she would like to see California follow the lead of other states like Virginia and North Carolina, who are compensating survivors. Claire Tregesser, KPBS News.
New studies show a new drug that treats Parkinson's disease may also help those with Alzheimer's. The San Diego-based Acadia Pharmaceuticals reports new Plazid can ward off hallucinations and delusions in Parkinson's and Alzheimer's patients. More than 5 million people in the U.S. suffer from Alzheimer's, and up to half of all patients may develop psychosis. Researchers say it is still too early to tell whether the drug will help these patients in the long term. Nuplazid was approved for Parkinson's earlier this year. New data reveals a record number of U.S. Customs and Border Patrol agents were assaulted along the Mexican border this fall. Agents reported 159 assaults in October and November this year. That's more than 3 times as many as the same period the year before. Most reported incidents of assault involved Border Patrol agents. There are possible new concerns for Porter Ranch residents near the Aliso Canyon underground gas field. Methane has been detected seeping out of soil near a capped well. An earlier leak spanned 4 months before it was capped earlier this year. It displaced thousands of residents and emitted more than 100,000 metric tons of methane. Officials say the new emission most likely does not pose a threat and may be related to the recent rain. Organic material like Christmas trees make up nearly a quarter of the trash in landfills. For 43 years, the city of San Diego has tried to take Christmas trees out of that mix by offering free pickup and recycling. KPBS reporter Steve Walsh has the story.
We're out here at the Miramar landfill where retailers have been dropping off dozens of unsold Christmas trees. Maybe no greater sign that the holiday is officially over. They're about to be turned into that, a big pile of mulch. And starting today, you can do the same.
The city of San Diego will take trees at 16 drop-off locations until January 23rd. This year, the nonprofit I Love Clean San Diego will also provide drop-off locations around the county. City Council member Chris Cates said the program has been a popular way to reduce waste.
Last year, the program helped keep approximately 1,100 tons of Christmas trees out of Miramar landfill. That's about 155,000 Christmas trees.
There is also curbside pickup for customers with yard waste collection. The city asked that trees over 3 feet be cut up. Residents are asked to remove ornaments and lights from the trees. Throughout the year, city residents can upload 2 cubic yards of the mulch at the Miramar Greenway inside the landfill. Steve Walsh, KPBS News.
A Milwaukee theater artist has won a grant to expand a creative program for adults with memory problems. The method involves introducing them to improvisational storytelling. AP reporter Carrie Antelfinger has the story.
Joe, here's the band playing.
And the clown's clowning around.
It's not exactly stand-up comedy, but the participants are doing their own improv.
Rosemary. It's a horse. She did it. Good job.
Coming up with stories based on pictures they see, like this circus scene.
The little kid's name is Skippy.
Organizers say the improvisational storytelling method helps adults with memory problems respond creatively to pictures, objects, songs, and other art.
There are so many disappointments in the difficulties of their days dealing with Alzheimer's disease that there are a lot of right and wrong answers. And in this process, there is no right and wrong answers, and there's a lot of laughter.
The program is called Time Slips and is the brainchild of Ann Basting, a University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee theater professor who's written plays about older adults and created public art projects to benefit them.
Instead of going to where people have loss, which is memory, we invite people to kind of shift over to imagination, where people with memory loss still have quite a bit of strength.
This September, Basting won a MacArthur Foundation Fellowship to expand the Time Slips program, which already has certified facilitators in 41 states and 12 countries, including Japan, where Yoko Hayashi launched the program in August. She's had to adapt it to the Japanese culture.
In the States, you don't get so tense. Everyone's very casual. But here, it's not like that. So I pay extra attention to become friendly with them before starting the program.
Naomi Hashimoto's family says she's particularly talkative after the sessions.
What I was impressed, if we keep it in our minds, one by one, I could be different, a different person from what I am now.
Some pilot tests in nursing homes suggest it could improve residents and staff attitudes. One geriatrics doctor says it's worth exploring different approaches.
We can engage people and then not have to use pharmacologic methods for behavioral problems, which I'm not sure this research has gotten to that point yet, but might be another area that we could look at.
I think it was fun because someone is always laughing.
Creating connections, something that doesn't get lost in translation. Carrie Antelfinger, Associated Press.
As we wrap up 2016, we're looking back at some of our best stories. Earlier this year, KPBS education reporter Megan Burks began exploring how learning happens. Parents are key to students' success, but what if they never went to school? KPBS reporter Megan Burks looks at a program reaching out to immigrant parents in the City Heights neighborhood.
¿Cuánto es? A veces me dicen 8 por 0. 8. Pero no, ¿cuánto sería?
Students at Monroe Clark Middle School in City Heights rattle through multiplication tables. They're attentive, eager to participate, not what you might expect from a middle school classroom. That's because these students are the parents and grandparents of children attending Monroe Clark. The program is called Plaza Comunitaria, and it helps immigrant parents in the United States pick up their educations where they left off in Mexico. Rocio Ajis heads the program in City Heights. She says many of the participants grew up in small towns far from big cities.
They didn't have even access for public light or telephone, and the school were created by the residents there. So they have like a small school with small tables, some chairs, but the teachers were not well prepared to teach a class like a high level. So they needed to either walk a long distance to get to the middle school or to stay there in the community and work.
Some of them are even starting from scratch when it comes to writing. They speak indigenous dialects and only know Spanish by ear. Parents in the program can earn certificates from the Mexican government showing they've completed the equivalent of elementary and junior high schools. They can also get their GED and learn English through the program. But Ahi says it goes beyond credentials.
Our final goal is to help families, to help their students to go on to college and graduate and have a successful life.
Rosa Loredo moved to the U.S. in 1992 from a ranchito in Sinaloa so she could earn more to support her 3 children. She went to work in onion fields and apple orchards before settling in City Heights. Loredo laments not being able to go past 4th grade.
A mí me gustó mucho.
I liked school very much, and I wanted to be something more. But the economy didn't give me the opportunity.
Loredo found out about Plaza Comunitaria because her grandchildren go to Monroe Clark. She says her own studies have helped her to grow closer to them.
They laugh. They say, my grandma is doing homework as well. And we do homework together on occasion.
Este es el símbolo de y me becas.
Maria de los Remedios Gomez Arnau is the Mexican Consul General in San Diego and provided the funds to bring Plaza Comunitaria to City Heights in 2007. She says the program has another goal, to help Mexican immigrants learn English.
Pedagogically, the teachers have said that if an adult never was taught a foreign language, they should consolidate their own native language before really being able to learn the foreign language.
A basic understanding of grammar in one's own tongue makes it easier to learn a new language, she says. Recently, the consulate hosted a ceremony passing out giant novelty checks to immigrant students going on to college and to other adult education programs in the region. The consul says her office has awarded more than $500,000 to students.
I think it's important that the community at large in the United States know that the Mexican government is committed to help the Mexican communities, because we know that will be positive for the United States and for Mexico too.
Buscan con su tabla, se posicionan en la tabla del 10.
For Rosa Loredo and many of her classmates, the program has had a profound personal effect.
Me siento así como con más ánimo.
I have high hopes, and I don't know, I'm happier. I'm less introverted, more talkative. I'm very happy to be here and very thankful for all the support they have given to us. For all of it. It's something I wasn't expecting. It's like my mind opened up.
Loredo says the classes have reignited her drive to become something more. She wants to pursue a nursing degree.
My goal is actually awakening and becoming true.
Megan Burks, KPBS News.
Well, many people can agree that a friendly dog can put a smile on your face. That's the concept behind Love on a Leash. As KPBS health reporter Kenny Goldberg shows us, the North County group takes man's best friend to virtually any place where people could use an emotional pick-me-up.
On a weekday afternoon at the Georgina Cole Library in Carlsbad, one of the biggest stars of Love on a Leash arrives in his SUV.
All right, let's go. Good boy, we're going to work. You ready to go to work? We're going to go see some friends.
Bosley is a 170-pound English Mastiff. His head is as big as a watermelon. If he growled at you, you'd probably have a heart attack. But Bosley would never growl at anyone. He's as gentle as they come.
Wait for me, wait.
And so are the other Love on a Leash dogs, like Zuni and Pixie. Today's mission, to sit quietly and let kids read to them. These dogs bring a smile to everyone's face. After all, that's their job. They're therapy dogs. Unlike service dogs, which are trained to perform tasks for people with disabilities, therapy dogs are trained to just be sweet companions. Zuni's owner, Bonnie Biggs, says therapy dogs need to have a certain temperament.
Dogs that pretty much are happy to be around people, that aren't aggressive with other dogs, because they do visits together, so you've seen that a number of dogs do this visit, and that love children and love old people and love all kinds of people.
You might say they're in the love business. They give it and they get it in return. Biggs says there's actually some science behind the feeling you get when you're around a friendly dog. It involves the hormone oxytocin.
When you pet a dog,
they have measured increased levels of oxytocin, which is an affiliative hormone. You feel comfort, safety, affection, and love when oxytocin is going through your body. They're now finding that there's a feedback loop between dogs and people, so that the dog is also showing increased levels of oxytocin in their body when they're being petted.
All of the people involved with Love on a Leash are volunteers. There are 700 members in San Diego County and more than 2,000 nationwide. At this event, while the kids practice reading aloud, the dogs just hang out and listen. Children's Services Library Assistant Kylie Seal says the dogs don't criticize anyone.
They're not, like, hey, oh, this is how you pronounce that word. They don't even know their ABCs, so they're not going to test you on anything.
The dogs don't fight, bite, or bark. You never hear a peep out of them. That's because they've been exceptionally well trained. Each Love on a Leash dog has to know all of the basic commands, like sit and stay. They must also pass a rigorous evaluation by a certified dog trainer. Then they must go on 10 supervised visits to prove that they can get along with other dogs. Melissa Cantanilla says Bosley's first visit was a disaster.
We went to a VA hospital, and he wasn't quite clear about what his job was, and he pulled me through the hospital. It was kind of a mess. He saw other dogs there, and he thought he was there to play with the other dogs. But after the 10 visits, he got it. He understands now. We put on the vest, we put on the bandana, we're going to go to work, and he knows his job is to do this.
The Brookdale Assisted Living Community in Oceanside is another frequent stop on the Love on a Leash circuit. Brookdale residents just love the animals. One resident, Robert Albert, is prompted to sing the praises of a dog named Daisy.
Daisy, Daisy, tell me your answer true. I'm half crazy over the love of you.
Every Tuesday afternoon, a big group of Love on a Leash dogs visit the Wounded Warriors Battalion at Camp Pendleton. This battalion is made up of some 150 Marines who are recovering from serious injuries. They have to put in a lot of work to restore their health. Corporal Caden Gossard says the dogs are a big help.
A lot of guys here are just always suffering. I know I am. It's a hard time on your own, trying to get better, but they come and it brings memories of home, bring memory of how much you loved when you had a dog at home. It just makes you feel better inside.
Bubba, a chocolate lab, is a big hit here. His owner, Marion Knowles, says she loves coming to the base.
It's so neat when you see the Marines getting down on the floor with the dogs and just giving and receiving love. It's really, really cool. It makes the day.
Knowles says she recently took Bubba to see some friends who were going through a rough patch. She says a little time with Bubba did the trick.
Better than drugs, I would say. It really is amazing.
Kenny Goldberg, KPBS News.
Great story. Cool weather for San Diego this week, and more rain is headed this way too. Larissa Abreu has more in tonight's forecast.
High pressure still in control out in the southwest region, and that's why conditions will remain nice and quiet. But we do have some change on the way. A storm system that will be pushing through from Mexico will bring the return of cloud cover as well as some showers. Stay tuned. We'll bring you those details in just a second. Here's a closer look at satellite and radar. Just a bit cloudy as we head further off towards the north, and that's pretty much going to be the name of the game for the entire day. We'll see those passing clouds, but we'll also see a lot of sunshine. Tonight, temperatures at around 45 degrees, a starry night with a chance of the increase in cloud cover as we head towards later on this evening. Here's a look at the rest of the region. Really not so bad out there. Oceanside at 40, we'll be at 45 in San Diego, 46 in Chula Vista. Temperatures in the upper 30s in Campo, 33 in Mount Laguna, 38 degrees out in Borrego Springs under mainly clear skies. And here we go again. Tuesday still nice and quiet as high pressure sits over the region, generating not only plenty of sunshine across the Golden State, but we will also notice milder temperatures, and that's going to be the trend over the next few days across our area. Here's a look at those coastal valleys, or rather along the coast. We'll see temperatures In the upper 60s on Tuesday, lots of sunshine around, and then we break into the 70s as we head towards midweek. We're staying just there by Thursday, but we will notice a bit more cloud cover Thursday afternoon, and then our next disturbance moves south from Mexico. That will continue to generate plenty of moisture, and that's going to bring the return of a few spotty showers Friday, and even as we kick off the weekend. As we head towards the inland valleys, same deal here with warm temperatures Tuesday, Wednesday, we're in the 80s. Will remain very mild as we head towards Thursday. A bit more cloud cover, and then that storm system arrives from Mexico, bringing the return of cloud cover as well as spotty showers to our region. Spotty showers will continue Saturday, and temperatures will be drastically cooler for the start of the weekend. We'll be in the 60s Saturday afternoon. Take a look at the mountain. Absolutely gorgeous Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. By Friday, we are going to see an increase in cloud cover, so it's going to turn out mostly cloudy, still the chance for spotty showers around. And then take a look at the start of the weekend. Not only will we continue with the ample cloud cover, but this time we're actually going to see rain and snow mixing on in. Nothing accumulating, or I should say not accumulating snow, but still enough to cause slick travel. So that's something to know as we make our weekend plans. As we head towards the desert, they too will see warm temperatures here Tuesday and even into the second half of the work week. But then we're cooling down by Friday. Those spotty showers cooling down the atmosphere, and unfortunately for folks who like that warm weather, the cool conditions will stick around even as we head towards Saturday. And in addition to the cool weather, we will also have a few spotty showers. KPBS, I'm Larissa Abreu.
I'm Judy Woodruff. On the next News Hour, our Politics Monday duo look ahead to the new year and back at a tumultuous 2016. That's Monday on the PBS News Hour.
Sacred Seed is a project based in Omaha, Nebraska. Its aim is to bring back the corn growing traditions that were once central to the diet and culture of many Plains Indian tribes. Here's more.
This is what was formerly known as my backyard, and is now home to the Four Sisters: corn, bean, squash, and the sunflower. My Western given name is Taylor Keem, but I carry other names as well. Among the Omaha tribe, I carry the name Bagija, which means buffalo mane. This effort here is called Sacred Seed. Sacred Seed is, for the most part, around the Four Sisters. From the Four Sisters comes all of bounty and all of life. The first sister is the corn. We know, scientifically speaking, that it takes a lot of minerals, most of which is nitrogen. And so the second sister, the bean, we like the pole climbing beans, but they put the nitrogen right back into the soil. The third sister, squash. Where there's squash, I don't know if it's in the little hairs on the vines or the flowers or what, but the raccoons will not step foot into my backyard here. And the sunflowers, they pull a lot of the heavy metals out of the ground if there's any, so it helps purify everything. But their main purpose, as I discovered again this summer, is as a windbreak. It's an obstacle course back here. We put a considerable amount of time and effort trying to find non-GMO indigenous heirloom seeds. Experimented with some southern varietals. Have a green Oaxacan. We're fighting the cultural bias within it as well. Corn, especially here in Nebraska, is synonymous with apple pie. Our quote, Indian corn is only ornamental and is sold only around Thanksgiving time. And most people don't even think it's edible, but where does corn come from? It comes from us. After I began to find seed, then I sat down with many of the elders within our tribe and asked for their advice and blessing, as it were, that it would be a good thing to do again. In my mind, I envisioned a future where everyone in my tribe could be corn planters again, that somehow we could sustain ourselves, be economically self-reliant again. The whole notion that I refer to as living red is getting back to living the way indigenous people should. Grow your own food, Deep red. Take care of it, foster it, love it, and then it will love you back. Way on na, way on na, oh, way on na, and they always.
And that Harvard Public Media report was made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Holiday Bowl celebrations kicked off today in San Diego's Gaslamp District. Marching bands and spirit squads from the University of Minnesota and Washington State University faced off in a battle of the bands. Leading up to tomorrow's football game at Qualcomm Stadium, another marching band showcase takes place tonight at Horton Plaza. And Metropolitan Transit System is adding extra trolleys tomorrow in anticipation of large crowds for the Holiday Bowl parade downtown tomorrow morning and later at Qualcomm for the game. The parade starts at 10, kickoff is at 4, and the MTS says passengers can speed up boarding by buying trolley tickets using their mobile ticketing app M-Ticket. Here's a look at what we're working on tomorrow in the KPBS newsroom on Morning Edition. California is beginning to take steps toward a $15 minimum wage with a 50-cent increase next week. We talk to those affected most by the change. And on Midday Edition, we take a look at a new museum opening next month in El Cajon. That celebration, history and traditions of the Sicuan Band of Kumeyaay Indians. That's tomorrow at noon on KPBS Radio. And you can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. From all of us here at KPBS, thanks for watching and have a great evening.